Chris Webber, NBA on TNT analyst. He'll be calling tonight's blockbuster, Bucks Rockets, Russell Westbrook's Houston debut. That's at 8 Eastern. And then our good buddy Reggie Miller will be on the call, Clippers at the Warriors at 10:30 Eastern. And C. Webb joins us on the program. How are you, Chris?
Hey, I'm doing great, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Let me start with the fact you're doing the Rockets. Who do you think leads the NBA in scoring this year?
Oh man, I think Harden. You look at the top. I think 6-7 seasons. It's Wilt, like 5 times, then Michael Jordan, then Harden as far as the highest scoring averages for a season. And so he was trying to get 40 in preseason, Dan. So I gotta go with him.
Okay, but what role does Westbrook play, and how does Harden get him or keep him happy?
Okay, so let me talk to you like a friend, like not an analyst. So
okay.
If I'm your friend, I'm saying, listen, Dan, think about it, man. You want to play. If people don't like you and they hate your show, and then you have a boy and he has a show and they hate his show, and all of a sudden both of you have a show on the biggest platform, aren't y'all going to kill it because everybody hates you? And, you can split up and you can do it. And man, if I was Westbrook, I wouldn't shoot the ball one time all season. I'd average 30 assists and just say, shut up, everybody, and let my boy get MVP. Or, so as a fan, as an ex-hooper, that's what I hope to see. I hope to see those guys define, change whatever narrative it is, have fun, define, and a new role for themselves and have fun in Houston.
Is Westbrook capable of doing that?
As my friend Reggie Miller says, it can go bad real quick. And so that's what's so fun about tonight. Harden, I think, is right about the narrative very honestly on not wanting him necessarily to get the MVP, or tired of the way he plays, or don't like the way that he plays because it's so ugly with this team, and him going up against Anthony Kupo, who played so great last year, and then we kind of saw his weaknesses, like really just glaring weaknesses once the playoffs came in the final round, and they tried to make him shoot jump shots. So how does he improve? So if I'm Westbrook and those guys, I just try to play as fast as I can, let Harden do his thing one-on-one, and if I'm Westbrook and I get the rebound, everybody put on your track shoes. We're going to go. We're going to play 2 types of ball in the same game, and maybe that can work. And as a fan, I hope it's a lot of fun to watch, but it could definitely go the wrong way fast.
You had the Pelicans and the Raptors opening night, and I'm going to paraphrase what you said, and then you can clarify that Zion Williamson didn't play, and you think that he's healthy, but this is load management. Is that a fair assessment of what you said?
No, and thanks, Dan. No, so we were going to break, and it's always crazy when you go to break and you don't expect a timeout, and they call it, and you can't finish it. That's not what it is at all. Okay. What I was saying was the narrative on him is that he's unhealthy, that he's injury-prone. And if you base that on him missing 5 games in college, I don't know how you can do that and say he's injury-prone. He bumped knees in a preseason game in Vegas. Griffin said, there's no need to play you anymore. Why would we even risk you being injured? That's what I was going to as far as the narrative. So he was not hurt in Summer League. That's not the reason why he didn't play. He hurt himself. And no, they pulled him out, being extra cautious, which they should. And so him being hurt now is a whole different story. I've had a torn meniscus. And so him being out now is just a whole different story. And so I was just trying to piece together the narrative that, listen, he's not been hurt his whole career. It's not been a total injury. He weighs about 280, right? And he's 8% body fat. This is what David Griffin told me. If he gets down to 6% body fat, he'll still be 265. And that's kind of the quandary with him, is that he's so muscular. I was told that the stress test that they do when they put, the clips on your heart and have you running on the treadmill, I was told from Pelicans officials that they couldn't even get a stress test because he kept running and was like, you got what you need yet? And he's like laughing, running on the treadmill. And they're like, no, you got to keep going. So his body didn't even get to the part where it was stressed in the stress test because he's such an incredible athlete. So I didn't have time to say all of that, but that's kind of where I was going. He's definitely hurt now. He has a torn meniscus. He had surgery, but he was not hurt in
Okay.
preseason, and thanks for letting me clear that up.
As far as the knee itself, because that's your plant knee when you're going up to dunk. That's all this explosion there, and you're coming down on that knee. Is this something that it will be there? I don't know if it's going to be arthritis sets in or what. I don't know if it's a bigger thing than that. And being in the Hall of Fame of knee surgeries myself, I wondered about that plant knee and the way he plays. Is this going to be a problem throughout his career?
Dan, that's such a great point. I often wish I would have hurt my right knee because as a right-handed player, my left knee is my plant knee. And it made me run funny. It made me jump terrible. It really ended and hurt my career. And so if you're a left-handed player, you do not want to injure your right knee. And so I agree with you that it could be as simple as irritating knee tendonitis for his whole career, or it could be, we better keep an eye on this because it can end. I do believe it's in that space of it could be totally healthy or we don't know. But it being his plant knee, it being that he plays with such force, I was told that he jumped 44 inches with no shoes on. I've never seen a guy take a vertical test with no shoes on. I can't imagine that. So the athlete that he is so incredible. I don't know if we've seen this, and I think to compare him to Charles is a little unfair because even though Charles was heavy, he had a different type of body, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles the injury and the league. You saw guys coming out getting 50 last night and playing hard, and it's going to be tough for him to come back and make an adjustment after he had a rhythm during the preseason, and then to miss these games and to kind of try to come back and catch up. It's going to be, tough for him. So hopefully that doesn't put more stress on his body as well.
He's Chris Webber, NBA on TNT analyst. Michael Jordan said recently Steph Curry's not a Hall of Famer yet. Mike, what do you think he's getting at here? Do you think he really thinks he's not a Hall of Famer?
Dan, you have such a great context on sports, and I don't necessarily like what Jordan did, but we in sports now have such a thing of going, he's a Hall of Famer. I've heard that about some quarterbacks and stuff, in their third year. I thought that was blasphemous only because you still got to do it, and the great ones will do it. The wink that Jordan had, the smile to the camera, to me that was an MVP to an MVP, saying, I want to see what you do now that your boys are gone. I want to see what you do now that there's no Durant and now that there's no Klay Thompson. Show me that you're the MVP even in the bad years. Show me that you're the MVP even when you're hurt. Show me you're the MVP if your team doesn't make the playoffs. Show me the MVP if your team does. So right now, while we're giving away all these rewards based on 2 different seasons, 3 different seasons, and the game being totally different and comparing them to the greats, because they never do that in baseball. I never hear somebody say, "Oh man, I'd take Judge over Ty Cobb any day." I never hear that. I never hear that, and they have the real analytics and the numbers that go by it. And so, first of all, of course, Curry's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, that was my next question.
I do think we need to, he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. He's a Hall of Famer, but yet when Jordan said yet, that's what I took it as, and hopefully he's not hating on Curry because Jordan doesn't need to hate on anyone. In my opinion, he's Kareem, the greatest of all time. But I think it was more maybe the narrative on sports collectively. That's what I'd like to think.
Do you think Curry sends a message when Golden State plays Charlotte just to remind Mike of how good he is?
Oh yeah, but I think that's what Mike wants. I think since Mike can't play, that's all he wants to do is sit on the side and say, show me that. So what? Hit another one. You know what I mean? And I love Curry's response. Curry said, Curry got it because Curry said, you didn't ask him, will I be in the Hall of Fame? That was a different question. Not, do you think Curry will be in the Hall of Fame? He said, no, Curry's not a Hall of Famer yet. So I like Jordan being a little coy with that. But yeah, he's gonna hit Charlotte with a hot 50 in Charlotte just because of those comments.
When I watched the Lakers opening night against the Clippers, I couldn't help but notice it felt like LeBron was deferring to Anthony Davis. Now, I don't know if that's just, hey, during the regular season, starting the season, I'm going to play nice. Come postseason, the ball's going to go through me. But do you think LeBron is at the point in his career where he is the second option or is going to be the second option for the Lakers?
I hope so. I mean, it's been 17, 18 years, 9 finals, all the things that he's done. I've said this all preseason that if I were LeBron, I'd try to get AD the MVP. If AD gets the MVP, that means AD is doing all types of incredible things, and you would tend to think LeBron is getting a little rest because the playoffs is all that matters. LeBron does not have to prove one thing to anyone. And if it's only about winning a championship, then who cares about the regular season? Get home court advantage, let AD be MVP, and then you be MVP in the playoffs, which is what you are, one of the greatest players ever. So I think that. But your question, yeah, man, it's not. Did you see guys getting up in them? Kawhi and them, like, one of the greatest signs of a player getting older is other players. You can see in other players' actions that they are coming at this player. Like, no one was afraid of LeBron. No one. They didn't come double him. They knew he was going to pass when he got to the hole. LeBron has to have 7 layups to get 25 now. Those type of things. So, yeah. It's definitely slowing down, but if it's any player that it should slow down for, it's LeBron, and we don't want to believe it because he's kept defying time and space and his play and his age and his body, but it's going to catch up sooner or later. And with guys like Kawhi that have the same size, same body, same height, that can jump with him, play defense, it's going to be a little tougher. Yeah, it's going to be tougher this year.
You sold on the Clippers being the best team in the NBA?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because they are a group. They are the LA hyenas. And they are like a group of hyenas, like trying to just take food. Like the energy, you can't buy those personalities. That's all. Like, you can't teach those personalities. You can't teach the personality of Lou that's been a scorer all his life that wants to come off the bench, or the fellas that play hard, or Patrick Beverly that everyone hated and all this, and now they love because they see that he's just a fighter. And so I do believe in them because they play defense every night. I could see them going 0 for 13 from the three-point line and playing great defense. So I do. Their defense travels, their heart travels, and Coach Doc Rivers, he's one of the best hype men on the sideline to get guys ready. So yeah, I do like their chances this year.
Wow. All right. Are the Lakers the second best team in the West?
No. I think you still have to look at Denver. Denver has the deepest team I can remember. That in my playing time, and the benches that I've seen, they have the deepest team that I can remember. And I think they're going to be a hard out. The Joker, he doesn't have to score, or he can get 14 points in the fourth quarter and 20 assists. I mean, the way that this young team plays together, their coach, they can play fast, they can post up, they can slow it down. They have veterans. The pressure, we're really letting them off the hook by not trading the expectation, because them being second in the West last year, first in the West last year, they've only gotten better. And to me, they should have an advantage even over the Clippers because they have a little more chemistry. They've had more time together.
I know you have the Bucks and the Rockets tonight, and the Greek Freak feels like he's saying all the right things, staying in Milwaukee. Do you think the Greek Freak is in Milwaukee playing with this next contract?
No. No, I'm not one for short answers, but no, I don't see it. I've played in small markets, and I know that you have to have a really, really, really special relationship. And I think the next 2 years, if they have a bad season, what does the media do? What do the people there do? Because the funny thing about small market teams, and I think Kevin Durant will tell you this, is that when you win for a small market team, if you stay there long enough, they forget that they're a small market, and they start to think like, oh, we're the Yankees. Well, ain't nobody coming here. And until you leave, and you're reminded this year for OKC, hey, you keep Chris Paul, and we'll show you what city you are. So, yeah, I think it's a delicate balancing act, and he says all the right things, and I really, truthfully wouldn't be surprised. I love how I love his personality. He's like I didn't want to work out with guys that I'm competing against. What am I doing that for? Like, what is this? This isn't a co-op where we work out together. Like, you don't need to know my secrets. I don't need to know yours or things like that. So I love how he doesn't do the group buddy workout, and he's not buddy with all of them. So that makes me say, yeah, he can stay in his own place and not care about it. But I will say it gets cold in Milwaukee, and there's a lot of other places.
By the way, Vince Carter is 3 years younger than you.
And that's crazy, right?
It is.
That's crazy.
I mean, Chris, I don't know how he does. I watched him in the preseason the other night against the Knicks, and he's become a very, very good three-point shooter, and he's still doing it. Like, we marvel at Brady. What Vince Carter is doing is more incredible than what Brady's doing. Because Vince is going against these young pups who are 22, 23. Like, he's old enough to be somebody's dad out there. Brady gets all that protection. Vince is out on the floor going up and down with these guys.
No, wait a minute now. First of all, what Vince is doing is incredible, but Vince is doing incredible when he's playing against the young boys, but he's not getting chased down by you know what I mean?
All right. You got a point there.
But you're right. And wouldn't it be awesome if he was in the dunk contest this year?
Okay, do you think Zion's in the dunk contest?
Oh.
Would you let him if you're the Pelicans?
Oh, yeah. You're not going to get hurt in the dunk contest. Hey, guys have dunk contests after every practice.
Yeah, but he's coming off surgery, though, Chris.
Oh, yeah, but you're talking about 10 jumps at the most. If he's playing, if he plays 3 weeks into it, 4 weeks into it, if he plays in December, oh, yeah. February, come on. I need to see him, that young kid from Miami, and then let's get Vince Carter back in. Because I'm telling you, the one thing about Vince is so incredible is that you're right. He's doing it, and the hardest thing about getting older is recuperating. So if you give me 2 weeks, I can maybe do a dunk or two. If you give Vince 2-3 weeks, oh, my God, I guarantee that he can jump like his young self for 2 or 3 dunks, and it'll be incredible. So hopefully we get all 3 of those.
That would be great if Vince was there and Zion was there.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? And you got to have Spud. You got to have everybody. Just bring all the greatest of all time. Oh, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be sweet.
But did you ever look at Spud and go, how is somebody that small dunking on people?
I met Spud in high school and asked him, could I touch his calves?
Wait. You see Spud Webb, you're in high school and you wanted to touch his calves?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Spud Webb, man. Number 4, Spud Webb. Double pump off the pounce with I don't know if that was a haircut or a ball patch on the side. I don't know, but I did it. Like, Spud Webb was the man. Everything he did. Yeah. He was, yeah.
You bring it every time you're on, Chris. Great to talk to you. Have fun with the game tonight. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, guys.
That's Chris Webber.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.